I'll stick by it. I think Montoyo was just a rebuilding manager. That's all he was. He's a bridge. He's a bridge.
Everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Palela.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, oh man, we've been waiting for this one.
Oh,
Should
yeah.
the Toronto Blue Jays fire Charlie Montoyo? Before we get into it, guys, make sure to drop a like, comment, and hit that post notification bell button. Subscribe, do all that. Let us know what your thoughts and opinions are on this man, because there's a lot. We're gonna give you ours first, all right? So Nick, why is this coming up? Let's set the table here for everybody. Why are we talking about this?
I would love to set the table.
Yes.
And I believe I might have already started to do so about a couple weeks ago when I released a little video room session talking about the most hated MLB manager, and Charlie Montoyo ranked #1 because the Twitter hate, the Instagram hate, the social media hate that this guy gets from Blue Jay fans, from freaking Timmins, all the way over to Saskatoon is a lot. And that's why we're talking about it, because everyone in Blue Jays Twitter, well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people,
I feel like most people
have called for Charlie Montoyo's head on a stake at some point this season.
Hey, I've done it. I've literally done it on this channel.
There have been times, there have definitely been days where it feels like, what the hell are you doing, dude? So, with that being said, we know that there's a lot of hate. Why are all of these people calling for his head?
For me, honestly, I think a lot of it, the majority of it, has to be around his decision with the bullpen. When is he bringing in guys? How long is he keeping guys in there? Who are the matchups? That's been a big question mark, and honestly, a lot of Blue Jays fans' eyes. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it has been questionable.
Yes.
I'm not saying it has been. There's been situations like, okay, we're putting this worst guy against their better hitters in a game that we need to win, and we're only down by this much. What is going on?
Yeah.
But I will have to say that the bullpen has been our weakest part of our team. We look at the three-headed monster being like, you know, the starters, the offense being the best, and then the bullpen. The bullpen's the worst, being with a bullpen WAR ranked 25th in the MLB.
That's not good. That's not good. WAR.
According to Fangraphs.
No. We'd be losing that WAR.
Yeah. Well, we have a losing record, 24-28, with our bullpen in the game. So,
and there you have it.
We have a bad bullpen.
Yes.
So when you go into a game and you're managing the bullpen, I mean, yes, you could put in Romano 4 days in a row, but some days you can't because he has an arm and he needs to rest. So he has to play some worse guys, and that's where our team gets a little bit exposed and we lose games.
I agree, buddy, and I think you said it right there by saying that there are some days where I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Charlie? This is a bad move. And then there are other days where it's just like he's doing everything he can, and the bullpen just completely shats all over it. And sometimes I think that these moves that he does do look worse than they actually are, because the bullpen comes out and then they can't throw strikes, and then we're blaming Charlie, and we're blaming Chatwood, and we're just blaming everybody.
Dolise and everybody.
So, I mean, that's definitely a thing. Let's look at some of the positives, though, from Charlie Montoyo. Because, you know, it's like we got to look at both sides of the coin.
Of course.
Obviously, the bullpen management, that is definitely under a microscope. However, under his management right now, I mean, they're playing games.
We got runners
in scoring position against Baltimore, but we have a positive record. And for the most part of this season, up until very recently, we've been in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
We made playoffs last year, too. The first season, it was absolutely atrocious. He completely shot the bed on that one. Granted, we did not have any of our players that we do right now.
Yeah, I will admit that his decision with the postseason 3-game series against Tampa Bay was really, really bad. I don't know why you're not pitching Rio in the game 1 and why you're letting Matt Shoemaker only go 30. Anyways, but I want to comment on that a little bit. Keep going.
I want to look at some of those positives and basically say that, yes, there are some negatives going on right now with Charlie, but obviously we have seen some success with him as well, if we're looking just from a team standpoint, you know?
Right, yeah. And I will say, like, to finish my comment, last year, his management with the rotation was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Granted, we didn't have many guys, but you trade for Taijuan Walker and he doesn't even see the field once in a critical 3-game series.
That was
like,
ridiculous.
come on, are you kidding me?
That was ridiculous.
And only letting a Shoemaker come 3 innings. Yes, he's coming off an injury, but like it's the playoffs, dude. Anyways, this year with the rotation, have not complained once.
No.
The lineup management used to complain about that. Why is Gurriel batting in the 7th spot? But he's been batting in the 7th spot, 8th spot most of the year because why? That's the only place he can go now because the lineup is so deep.
We have
more guys now.
now.
So it's been pretty. When you have good players though, and this is something I'm gonna playing devil's advocate this whole video.
Yeah.
When you have good players though, it should be really easy to manage. So the lineup hasn't been a problem. The rotation hasn't been a problem. But bullpen, it becomes a problem because they're so hard to manage because you don't have good guys. So we're trying to look at Montoyo's
We're
side
trying
here.
to look at it from all sides. And I do want to read off a little bit of a quote right here. And now this comes from an article that I was looking up because I was looking up WAR for managers, trying to see how we evaluate how much impact does Charlie Montoyo actually have on this team. So shout out to Alex Rubinson who wrote this article. And I just want to read this quote right here. One of the many tricky aspects if we were to able to calculate a manager's WAR is which variables to consider and how much they track with credit or blame should be put on him. So how do we measure whether the manager is maximizing his assets or the players are merely overachieving? Or on the other side, are the players underachieving or is the manager dragging the entire team down? So basically what that means is, can we give Montoyo any credit for the offensive success? Or are we simply saying that those players are overachieving and Montoyo is dragging down the bullpen with his decisions? Or is like Montoyo's decisions the sole factor in why the bullpen is doing bad? It kind of just means like we have to look at both sides of the coin here.
It's literally so tough. You cannot say it's one or the other. You can't. It's like it's impossible. That's why they don't have a manager WAR officially. You know what I mean?
It's very hard.
It's very hard. However, I will say, once the team is like quote unquote complete, now we can start looking at Montoyo if we're not pulling in the W's because I agree. Again, bullpen management really bad. Probably, as of right now, doesn't really feel like he should be on a managing winning team.
No.
But he's still got another year left in his contract in 2022, right? So then in 2022, if we go out and fix the bullpen problem and everybody is there on paper, we got good starters, we got good batters, got everybody good, and we're not making playoffs, and it's his last year, well, now I'm okay with saying, okay, you know what? Let's get maybe a new face in here.
So by that, what you are saying, though, is that this season should not be Montoyo's last year.
It's not going to be. And there's another reason why, and logistically, Ross Atkins just absolutely loves Montoyo. He has nothing but great things to say about him, and he got him the extension, so he's not going anywhere, guys. That's a slap in the face.
We don't think that the Blue Jays are actively going to get rid of him after this year. Do you think they should?
No, because I think, again, you still got to give him a little bit more time. We did see that he did increase in this one other place, in like starting rotation or anything. I think if you just give him the guys, then you can see what he does.
Right.
If our bullpen is like the Giants and we have a bunch of guys sub 3, like 6+,
becomes very easy to manage.
It's not that hard to not pitch Dolis if he ends up being our 7th and 8th guy. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of on the same mindset, maybe for different reasons, but I believe that right now, Charlie Montoyo is maybe an average manager to slightly below average. That's what I think he is. I definitely don't think he's like great by any means, but I also don't think that he is the worst either. Like, we have seen some progressions from him. So unless we are capable of going out and acquiring a Kevin Cash-esque guy in this offseason, I just think that it's not worth the hassle to have to bring in an entirely new guy who's going to have entirely new trains of thoughts, going to need to develop rapport with everybody on the team. That's just a whole lot of work, and I don't think that we need to be building those relationships right now when we still have what I would say to be an average manager for another year who has, for the most part, kept us on track with our long-term plan. in 2022, we were kind of thinking that we would be where we are right now, and we are where we are right now.
We're exactly where we should be. I do want to say about when you commenting on the establishing the rapport, a lot of names have been thrown out there about John Schneider, who's actually been with the kids a lot longer than Montoyo has.
That is very true, yes.
So if it's not going to be Montoyo, maybe you take a shot with John Schneider. He's been with the team already for 3 years. So give him a shot.
You know what? If he is something special, if the management believes he is something special,
we got to give him a shot.
100%. If he is going to be the same thing as Charlie Montoyo,
I believe what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy paste what he did.
Like then there's just no point in this. Give the guy another chance, and then if in 2022, excuse me, we do not make postseason, then it's a very easy, thank you very much, bye-bye now, see you later. If we do make postseason and we make a bit of a deep run and we're liking what Charlie has done so far, then that also answers the question too. Okay, maybe we can bring this guy back for a year or two.
Maybe you get him a 1 year. Yeah, you never know. Because I will agree, yes, and I'll stick by it. I think Montoyo was just a rebuilding manager. That's all he was. He's a bridge. He's a bridge. Whenever we're talking about bridge players, he's a bridge manager. Totally. So maybe bridges can also be extended to like super bridges. Yeah. Let's try to think what's bigger than a bridge?
Like oh wow,
yeah. What's bigger than a bridge?
Like there's like land bridges, you know, like Alaska.
Long. Yeah.
Or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't know, like a really long bridge. But you know what? I also think too, and we're dragging on here, but I also think too, it's like that players develop. Maybe Montoyo can develop too. He was a bridge manager when he came in. I have noticed some progressions. Definitely not saying that he is where he needs to be to win a World Series. But I have noticed some progressions. Could I believe that next year, after having an offseason where he really reevaluates all of his bullpen decisions, maybe he gets better with that, and we're like, hey, Charlie Montoyo looks pretty good now.
Hey, I mean, Ross Atkins, when he gave him the extension in the offseason, said he sees him growing as a manager. Literally the quote. So, I mean, if the upper management who spends more time with him than we do can say that, then I think we got to take his word for it and give him 1 more year.
Yeah. And I mean, just try to limit the nonsensical bullpen decisions.
For real.
And we'll be totally fine, Charlie.
Watch the video.
But guys, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Should Montoyo get fired and dip from this team? And if he should, I want to hear from you guys. What is your wish list for managers? Kevin Cash is off the table. I'm sorry, guys, we're not going to get that guy. But realistic wish list for a manager that you think could do a better job than Charlie Montoyo. Let us know in the comments.
Guys, you can also check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, and Breaker. Also, check us out on our Instagram, Twitter, and our TikTok. We're posting on there more regularly now. As well, guys, the video is brought to you by Monkey Knife Fight and for Manscaped. Use code TODAYJs to get discounts and deals that you saw throughout this video. It really helps out the channel. As well, guys, become a Patreon. It's $3 a month, and you can come onto our show. Thank you to all of our Patrons. Thank you, guys. You guys support us so much. And yeah, we'll be having you guys on our one-on-one sometime soon.
Very soon. Thank you so much for watching, my friends.
And
go Jays, go!